been having some good Adventure 2 runs. But last time we started Case 3 of Ace Attorney 6, Spirit of Justice. We are back playing as Phoenix in Kurain. And it's been a couple weeks, and we're finally getting to see Maya, which is great. So we met up with Maya. Maya has been asked to perform the... Oh god, I'm going to be rusty on this. I forgot what the name of it is. The Moon Dance Ceremony? That's not right. The something ceremony. Anyway, a big important ceremony in Korean. Somebody in chat will correct me. She's been asked to take part, and whilst that's happening, I forget the name of the priest. The priest ended up being murdered. And this is a bad summary. Maybe we should just go into the game. So the game can give us a summary, because I remember all the key pieces of information. You know, we met Maya. Maya got blamed because she went up the mountain. She's supposed to do the ceremony, so it's like a locked room mystery. It's only her and the priest, and she ended up being the culprit, or suspected of the culprit, and so we are investigating, trying to help her. Emma's been helping us out. And there's quite a bit of evidence to show that somebody else was there. We just need to, prove it in court. But we'll go through all of that. Sorry, not the best summary. It has been a couple weeks. I apologize for my brain being a bit rusty on the names of everything, but hopefully the trial will fill us in right at the start, which will be nice. Let me just briefly look at the evidence. Okay, yeah, so we got my badge. Yeah, so this was the rites. Okay, the two of them devote themselves to prayer until the rite comes in to close 2 days later at noontime. Yeah, so the purification rite, that's what it was called. So this is the ceremony. It's a 3-part ceremony. When the moon... Let me get some music playing. Hang on. Yeah, is a 3-part ceremony where the moon is directly over the sun. I knew it was something to do with the moon. It begins with the transformation rite. The high priest reads sculpture, while the priestess dons the robes of Lady Kira, which have been purified with incense. Next is the rite of war, in which the priestess enters the spring, that's supposed to be Maya, dressed as Lady Kira, and the high priest purifies both Lady Kira and her dagger. The ceremony ends with the rite of fire, in which the priestess circles the sacred flames to purify her soul. The two then devote themselves to prayer until the rite comes to a close 2 days later at noontime. Fancy way for her to take a bath. Anyway, there's supposedly some vigilante who is dressed as Lady Kira running around. So we don't know who that is at the moment, but we know that that's happening, and there have been pictures that have been taken. So Lady Kira returns to battle rebels. The Lady Kira-like figure that appeared 2 years ago remains a mystery. Some town elders see her as Lady Kira in the flesh. Such rumors are fueling the enthusiasm for today's purification rite. Oh yeah, and then this is the newspaper of the day of the murder. The thick white ice that froze the ground from the inner sanctum to the Plaza of Devotion until yesterday has melted. The rite can now go on as planned. We give thanks to the Holy Mother and Lady Kira. Happy Raki. Police are asking the kingdom subjects to be on the lookout for a male insurgent who escaped. Oh yeah, so somebody escaped from the Royal Penitentiary, which is right above where the purification rite is supposed to take place. Which, is a little sus. And then we'll see in a second, there's a little evidence or something that looks suspiciously like a parachute. Now, I don't know if I'm galaxy braining it too much, but there's been a lot of evidence to suspect that it looks like somebody has jumped off one side of the mountain to make it up there. Although this part is lower, I'm not sure, but it is a way if the prison is directly above where this is taking place, and somebody had parachute, then they could have been here. I just don't know. Can't piece everything together. Anyway, the cause of death of Trust in Me. That's the name of the victim. Blood loss from a deep abdominal wound caused by a bladed weapon, which we think is the warbar dagger used in the rite, which is why Maya is the prime suspect again. The mark on his face is one borne by all members in the Koreanese clergy, somewhere on their bodies. Records who has what mark are kept in the temple. So here's the photo of him dying. So I can't remember. I think we got it as a piece of evidence. So like the water is not supposed to be blood, like red like this. But apparently it was. Did we get evidence of that? Yeah, apparently, yeah, here we go. The water was already red when they arrived. So it's not necessarily his blood, or something happened in order to make it red. But anyway, that's how he died. There's also blood all over the statue too, which I found a little. Nobody mentioned that. I don't think I mentioned that last stream, but it was something that crossed my mind. And if he died there, it's like kind of weird that there's blood everywhere on the statue. But anyway, yeah, the other thing is one of the lamps is broken. That's not supposed to be the case. We don't know what caused that. Plus, you see the snow there? It's been like pushed to the side. Again, I don't know exactly what the significance of that is yet, but it looks like it might be a hiding spot for something or someone. Yeah, so these are the Sanctum prayer flags that have been sewn together in like a long banner, which I am thinking is a parachute. I don't know what else it would be. A curtain around the perimeter of the sanctum isolating it from the outside world. The entrance was shut during the rite, so nobody can go in or out from the normal entrance. We found a bloodstained letter at the inner sanctum. A giant bloodstain makes it impossible to read in full. Yeah, Maya's statement of the spring being read already. Oh yeah, so here we have a warning from Lady Kira, and this was apparently sent to Trust in Me. Which is saying, do not perform the rite. I know what you are planning, but no extra information about what that is, like what Lady Kira thinks is happening. This was the arrow that was pinned, that made the thing pinned. Envelope addressed to the High Priest. Yes, that's where the thing was. Well, where the letter came from. Yeah, so that's the inner sanctum, and then Mount Pony Pony to the left, 12 meters below it. A wanted poster of some guy called Datsa Ball. Is a senior member of the insurgent leadership and former paratrooper of a foreign land. Former paratrooper. Oh my god! I'm not galaxy braining. This guy really did parachute. I did not see that last time. No. It's gotta be. There's no way I'm galaxy braining too hard. It's all coming together. Alright, anyway, wanted for crimes against the kingdom, considered armed and dangerous. We don't know who that is. And then one-of-a-kind strap plays the Plumbed Punisher theme when the Magatama on her belt is pressed. And Maya switched this from... she got this from somebody else, somebody who's supposed to be a fan of the Steel Samurai stuff. Anyway, that's everything. Yeah, so there's Maya, Emma, that's Mr. Tarust. This is the guy we have to face. Rafa, who is going to do her ceremony, which will be interesting to see. And then this guy, who came in on the screen for like 5 minutes, acted really weird, and then disappeared. And then this is Believe in Me, who's the lady of... or the wife of the victim. Anyway, let's go. Wasn't able to find any conclusive evidence yesterday. Sorry about watchers, so you can... Should have said you can skip to this part before, or you can skip to later on, but that should be fine. But if I can figure out Lady Kira's motive for threatening the High Priest, then maybe... Nick, Today, well, don't look so down, Maya. I'm gonna defend you with everything I've got. You would do well to cease this insanity while you still can. Oh, never mind. I gave a deep voice because I thought it was gonna be somebody else. As I said yesterday, to defend my client in court. Oops. Well, know this. You shall not witness a miracle of that sort that occurred last time. The moment she is found guilty, you too will be found guilty of abetting the accused. I never claimed to be a miracle maker, but I am good at discovering the truth. And unlike miracles, the truth is always waiting to be found. The truth, you say? Well, it seems you've chosen your fate. This shall be your very last trial. Alright, Rafa, thanks. Thanks for keeping me company yesterday. Anyway, now she wants me to die from from defending incorrectly. Oh, we got this one. Nick! I'm gonna prove you innocent, Maya. You'll see. After all, you have to introduce a plumbed Punisher, warrior of Neo Twilight Realm, to the folks back home, right? Right! I may be a defendant this time. This time? But I'll be by your side like always, Nick. Thanks, Maya. This place is tough on liars. I need all the help I can get. Plus, it's always good to have you on my team. Oh, it has been a while since we had Maya on the team, you know. Oh, it's time. Let's go. Ooh, 11. High Court of Right. Let the trial of Maya Fey begin. The defense is ready, Your Majesty. Alright, this guy. I do not like him. I miss Edgeworth. I know it's been so long, but I still miss Edgeworth. What? Can't you see Prosecutor Sadmadi is absorbed in silent prayer? Oh, right. This is the first time we have him in the country that he trained in, where everybody favors him. So this is going to be more annoying. Trial's barely started and the judge is already mad at me. He's very devout for a prosecutor. Why is the accused standing over there? Oh, well... Your Majesty, in addition to being the accused, she is also my assistant. The accused is your assistant, you say? Very well, then. A criminal does indeed make a fitting partner to a lawyer with a defiled soul. Hey! I'm just getting insulted again! Poor Phoenix! That wasn't very nice. Yeah, well, bad-mouthing lawyers seem to be a custom of sorts here in Kurain. I must say, I am surprised to see you still here in Kurain, Mr. Wright. And even more so to find you in the Hall of Justice once more. I just realized how his beard is tied. Crazy. I cannot fathom why you would willingly risk your life in yet another trial. The answer is simple, Your Majesty. I am a lawyer, and this is what lawyers do. Although, to be frank, I'd rather be anywhere but here right now. Don't say that out loud. Right, can you say something, please? Such foolishness. Ah, Prosecutor Sadmadi. Are you ready to begin now? Yes, Your Majesty. The prosecution is ready. Let us begin without further delay. But first, I promise you both this. Also, hi, Omega. Did I say hi to you? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. I will cast your wicked souls into the fires of hell. Thus shall the soul of the victim attain salvation. Ha 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 ha. Only in Ace Attorney could they cheer at the fact that somebody's casting somebody else's soul into hell. I will expect nothing less of you, Prosecutor Sadmadi. I think I'll pass on that whole fire and brimstone deal. But I'm not surprised by your words or stance, considering what Apollo's told me about you. So it was you, and still that putrid loyally guile within him? Putrid... what? He too must soon face the fires, lest his soul be lost to redemption. But I shall send you on ahead, so that he will not be lonely when he arrives. Sorry, but I'm afraid it won't be that easy. People say I never know when to give up. Nervous, Maya? A little. Feels like it's been ages since we stood side by side like this in court. Too bad I'm the defendant. She's acting like this hasn't happened to her before. Don't worry. How old is Maya? She's 28 now. Don't worry. We haven't lost a case together yet. You're right. Let's give this everything we've got, Nick. Imagine being the defendant. Well, to be fair, Nick has also been the defendant before. What? Yeah, he was. He was the defendant. For Dahlia? Wait, was he the defendant for Dahlia, or was Dahlia the defendant? And he was just the witness. I'm pretty sure he was the defendant, wasn't he? Yeah. Okay. Now then, Prosecutor Sadmani, would you please explain the case at hand? Of course, Your Majesty. Let us begin the last rites of the victim. This will actually be really useful because it's been a couple weeks. Maya Fey has been charged with the crime of murder. The victim of a heinous crime was High Priest Taurus Invi. He was conducting the purification rite when he was brutally slain. And the cause of death? Let us review the victim's autopsy report and the crime scene photo, shall we? The cause of death was blood loss from a stab wound delivered to the abdomen. The murder weapon was likely the war-board dagger, which was used in the rite. However, the weapon is yet to be found, though the scene was thoroughly searched. Oh yeah, forgot we haven't actually found the dagger yet. A sacred relic used as a tool of murder, the Holy Mother's wrath shall be most severe. The murder itself took place at the height of the purification rite. The accused had donned Lady Kira's sacred robes, and the victim was there to offer prayers as a high priest of Korainism. Okay. During the rite, the victim and the accused were the only two at the inner sanctum. Therefore, the only person who could have slain the victim is Maya Fey. I must say, it does cast a great deal of suspicion upon the accused. Indeed. The main thing is we have to prove that it was possible for somebody else to be there. Now then, allow me to submit this diagram of the crime scene as evidence in this case. Oh. Interesting. In Korainism, slaying a priest is a sin, most grave and dreadful. Interesting that they gave me this as a piece of evidence. It also has the broken lantern labeled. As such, Maya Fey's soul shall be plunged into the lowest level of hell. The hell of tickling. Oh my god, what? There. She shall be tickled without end for 500 million years. What? Alright, to be fair, I am extremely ticklish, so I would hate that. I would sooner rather burn, I think, for 500 million years. That is a terrible fate, indeed. Would the defense care to respond? And here I thought the lowest level of hell was the hell of back pain. To be fair, I also have back pain. Those both sound miserable. I don't remember killing anyone, and I don't have that dagger or anything like it. As my client stated, she has no memory of the event, as described by the prosecution. But more importantly, she has no motive to kill the High Priest in the first place.
Objection!
Oh, is he going to prove motive? I thought you might say that. Nevertheless, the meaningless prattle of lawyers is utterly ineffectual here in the Hall of Justice. For all will be made clear by her benevolence, Rafa Padma Kurain's insights. Oh yeah, are we gonna get the little ritual? So it is, and so it shall be. The divination seance, that's it, reveals the truth for all to see. Here we go again. Bailiff, please show in the royal priestess. Yeah, I'm curious as to what this is going to show, actually. Right. As popular as ever, I see. Rest assured, good people of Kurain, I will defeat this murderer and her better. They shall not escape on their freedom expressed today. What a joy it is to have the royal priestess back in the Hall of Justice. May the Holy Mother grant us her divine favor. Your Diara Kurain. These trials are crazy, man. She sure looks pleased with herself. Especially for someone who didn't know what Freedom Express was until yesterday. Is there something stuck to my face, barbed head? What? No. Nothing, your benevolence. Now then, your benevolence. The divination seance, if you please. Very well. Naina, my robe. To be fair, this is kind of cool.
Oh, Holy
I forgot
Mother,
this is voice acted.
we hold this divination seance in your name. Let the eyes of everyone here be clear.
It's
and
pretty
our
cool that
ears
she can
be
just like
unstopped.
show the last
dance
few
of devotion,
seconds of murder.
guide the
of the
victim's
murder
soul to me, so that we may receive their final memories in the pool of souls.
I'm just gonna show the whole dance and everything. I actually wonder how this looked on the 3DS. Yeah, but did it like stick out and everything? You put the 3D on? Hi Johan, good to see you. This is skippable? Oh. That's okay. It's pretty cool. Thanks, Yoshi. So I don't have to watch this every single trial. Is there music playing while she's doing this, or is she just imagining the music in her head and she's just prancing around? No. I mean, I know we can hear the music. I mean, in terms of like the court. Like, can the court hear the music too? That's fair. Okay. Well, there's Maya. Not the best start. Two lanterns. Isn't the broken lantern supposed to be... Oh, I guess it was still lit though, right? Yeah. Oh, hello. Okay, well that doesn't show that it's Maya. The victim's Mitama has spoken. The divination seance is complete. Great. Another clearly incriminating seance vision. It could not be any clearer, O foul defense. It could be clearer. The accused donned the sacred robes of Lady Kira and then attacked the victim. Oh, how very terrible it must have been. The figure of Lady Kira lit against the dim lantern light. The sense of incense growing ever more potent as she drew near. One can almost sense the horror Abbot in me must have felt. The facts as presented by her benevolence are indisputable. But that wasn't me! Do something, Nick. I am curious as to where Maya actually went, though. Because surely she would have been there when this happened. I'm working on it! That couldn't have been any clearer. Looks like I'm in for another uphill battle. The accused committed this vile act during ancient tradition, the purification rite. Come to think of it, the rites guide explains the multi-part purification rite in detail. It does. It's gonna go through it, okay. The transformation rite. The high priest reads scripture, while the priestess dons the robe of Lady Kira. The rite of water. Lady Kira enters the spring, and the priest purifies her, along with her dagger. The rite of fire. The priestess circles the sacred flames to purify her soul. Indeed. It would seem that the murder occurred during the transformation rite. The rite dictates that the high priest stand in front of the spring. Therefore, the accused must... Yeah, high priest stand in front of the spring, which is where he was standing, right? Therefore, the accused must have attacked him from the direction of the broken lantern. But the lantern wasn't broken? It's kind of blurry. I couldn't really see it properly, but... Well, barbed head, would you care to object? Of course, because I know my client is innocent. Heh heh, so you say. You truly do not know when you are beaten, do you? I managed to pull it off last time with Albie. I'll just have to do it again. You intend to find fault with her benevolent insights yet again? It would seem lawyers are Polkunen creatures indeed. What does that mean? What exactly is a Polkunen? Someone who's a real piece of work, so to speak. They wanted to put something rude there. They can call me anything they want. The only thing I care about is uncovering the truth. So, barbed head, are you foolish enough to risk your life for your so-called truth? Because my insights are the truth. To deny them is to willingly dig your own grave. We're going straight into it? Okay. This is interesting, because I didn't really notice anything right off the bat, but I also wasn't, like, super paying attention. The victim commenced the purification rite by bowing to the lanterns and reading a sutra. As the first part, the transformation rite, ended, he lowered the sutra. Suddenly, he heard the accused approaching footsteps and smelled her incense-laden robes. It was then that the victim felt an intense pain, and believed this is when he was stabbed. As his life's blood spilled over, his vision dimmed, so finally he passed from our world. That is everything the victim experienced in his final moment. Well, if the lantern wasn't broken, the wind blew, right? And it made the lantern flicker. I don't know if it was actually broken. Okay, maybe it's something to do with the broken lantern and where they were standing. I'm guessing. Dressed in the sacred robes of Lady Kira, the accused rushed the victim head-on. The brutal stabbing she perpetrated could not have been any clearer. Yes, it is plain for all to see. No, it wasn't me! A sudden drowsiness came over me during the transformation rite. I didn't even get a chance to put on Lady Kira's robes. You waste our time with such meaningless statements, accused. You cannot explain away the truths revealed by the royal priestess's divine insight. Oh, how did you end up finding contradictions last time? Lucie's final memories include all 5 senses. Oh, you mean those words that appeared in the pool of salts? Okay, it's giving me a little tutorial. It looked to me like the bigger the word, the stronger the sensation was to the victim. Yeah, that's how it looked to me, too. Sensations themselves are never wrong, only their interpretations. That's why I tried to point out mistakes in Rafa's insights the last time. So there could be contradictions between what Abbott in me felt and her insights, huh? You got it, and I'm gonna find them this time too. Should I check how to point out contradictions in Rafa's insights? No, I think I'm alright. I remember how it works, still. Sensations this time seem to fluctuate more than once from Albi's trial. In which case, I better keep an eye out on changes in their intensity too. Oh, interesting, okay. Time to point out the sensations that contradict the insights. Their intensity? Wind. Which is less. This is interesting. Not like super obvious compared to the ones with Albi. Find the sutra. Wind? Okay. I think it's something to do with the footsteps. I think that's what they were trying to... The footsteps don't change intensity, but the incense does. Sorry, I'm just watching somebody get stabbed over and over again. Yeah, the footsteps aren't changing. That's what I think it is. So the footsteps aren't approaching. He's just hearing footsteps. I think that's it. I don't see anything else at the moment, but this looks like the most obvious thing.
Objection!
Oh, okay, it's right. I wasn't super confident on that. The victim supposedly heard the accused's approaching footsteps, but did he really? What nonsense is this? Is it not abundantly clear? I don't think I would have spotted that unless they would, because they were very specific about I should look out for changes in intensity. I don't think I would have spotted that. No, it's not, because there is something strange about those footsteps. Strange? Explain yourself, barbed head. The footsteps are strange because they don't get louder. They're not getting any louder. And why exactly does that matter? Please focus your attention on the incense the victim smelled. The scent grows stronger as the accused approaches. If the accused really had approached the victim, the sound of her footsteps would have grown louder as the scent of incense grew stronger. Oh, so he must have approached Lady Kira. Why would he run towards a dagger, though? Either that or Lady Kira floated and somebody else was walking in the background, which was my first thought, but I was like, that makes less sense. Why? That makes perfect sense. How can this be explained, Your Benevolence? Well, there must be a reason. He must have walked towards Lady Kira.
Objection.
It is as they say. Even a putrid worm of a lawyer will turn. Who says that? What does it even mean? He's not exactly singing your praises, that's for sure. Still, we cannot discount this information solely on account of its loyally source. Your Benevolence. Perhaps you must listen more carefully to the abbot's mitama. Listen more carefully? What are you talking about? Yes, it would appear so. I shall try to refine the sensation. Refine the sensation? What? I can more accurately gauge sensations by deepening my communication with the mitama. I didn't know you could do that! Why have we never done this before? By refining a sensation, a clearer picture of the truth can be discovered. She's updating her own seance. Okay. Oh, bless Mitama, I beseech you. Hear me now and respond to my call. Bells. What could it... Didn't he wear bells on his ankles? Do I have evidence of that? Yeah, it was definitely him approaching Lady Kira. The only bells at the scene of the crime were... Ah! That jingling must have come from Abbot Inmi's bells. You mean those big things he had on his ankles? Well, there you have it. The sound of bells was from the High Priest's own footsteps. Then that means... If the footsteps belonged to the victim himself, it means it was the victim who was moving, not the accused. The victim was the one who went running toward the broken lantern from the spring. A far cry from what her benevolent insight would have us believe. Okay, well, we pointed out a contradiction, but we haven't pointed out the fact that Maya could still easily be Lady Kira in this. But why would the victim have approached the accused? Maybe he was trying to defend himself? Please explain. He could have felt threatened by Lady Kira, standing there with a dagger. If so, he might have thought to overpower her before she attacked. Kind of chatting. Still your voices! This is nothing but a theory, and a poor one at that. Be not led astray by these lawyers' obvious postulation.
Objection.
While his insolence is inexcusable, I would ask that you calm yourself, Your Benevolence. Is there something you would care to say, Prosecutor Sunmari? Even if it was Abbot Enemy who moved, it does not negate the accused's crime. What do you mean? Phoenix! The accused was likely waiting for the High Priest to approach. And as he neared, she plunged the dagger into him. It is as simple as that. Yeah. Oh, right. It really doesn't change much, does it? Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Hi, Tsunami. Yes, it is, as the prosecutor said. In fact, it is, as I meant to say, all along as well. I'm sorry, I can't read that properly. Right, and that's why you were so shocked when you first heard it. Understand now, lawyer, that contradiction you conjured up has come to naught. Once I hone my insights, it will vanish like the dying rays of the sun. No, it's got to be important at the fact that he was walking instead of... Ah, wait, no, if he was walking towards her, then how did he die in the spring? Wait, hang on. If he was walking towards her, how did he die in the spring? Wait, now I'm confused. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. And I was like, wait, but then how did he actually die in the spring, if that's the case? Yeah, sorry, that's a rhetorical question, of course. I'm more just voicing my thoughts out loud. Doesn't make sense. He couldn't have died elsewhere. There's no blood anywhere else. The only blood at the scene is in the spring and on the statue. There's nothing on the path. Which means he must have been walking the other way? Or like maybe it's like horizontal instead, but there's lanterns definitely in the background. So it's got to be about, yeah, this is what I was thinking, about where they were standing. All right. Come on, Phoenix, you got to keep your cool. That contradiction I pointed out must mean something. That one sensation changed after Princess Rafa refined her revision. It stands to reason that something else might have changed too because of the refinement. I should focus on any sensations that have changed, while searching for more contradictions between them and her insights. Yeah, is there anything about him dying in the pool? Wind. Water. Yeah, the pain hasn't changed. Water is weird. What do you mean by water? By touch? Sound? Sound.
Objection!
There's no water by the broken lantern. Hold it! How do we know the purification rite was performed exactly as it was supposed to be? That's easy. The customs governing the rite are very clear. An abbot in me would have adhered to them. Well, that's strange. Mr. Wright, would you care to explain what is so strange? Yes, I would ask you to consider the sound of the victim's footsteps. The sound of bells changes to the sound of water at one point. What's this? It's simple. The victim must have stepped in some water, and the only water around is at the spring. So maybe they are horizontal. We like walk through the spring? Because he died in the spring at some point, right? Oh. Yes. And the only source of water in the inner sanctum is the spring. And therein lies the contradiction. What contradiction? I believe the rite started out as it should have. The victim stood with his back to the spring, and the accused stood right in front of him. But now we know that the victim then moved into the spring. Oh, Kunka! That is absurd! This means the accused locations differs from what her benevolent insights indicate. Then, where do you propose the accused stood once she donned Lady Kira's robes? Based on the sound of the victim's footsteps, I believe Maya was standing here. Where was Maya standing? Maya was standing here instead. It was facing the other way? I think is what they want me to say, because there's definitely lanterns in the background. Otherwise, I would have said horizontal. I don't know if they want me to say in the spring or like slightly outside the spring. Probably in the spring, because it's like where the footsteps are here.
Take that!
Until this moment, we've all just assumed that Abbott, Inmee, and Miss Fey were standing where they were supposed to be, as shown in the right sky. In short, the victim should have been standing with his back to the spring, and the accused in front. However, if that is how they were really standing, he couldn't have stepped into the spring as he approached her. The problem is, the victim did step into the spring. This can only mean that Miss Fey had actually been standing in the water. But if this is true, then their positions would have been completely reversed. Right. Are their positions reversed at any other point in the guide? In which the priestess enters the spring, dressed as Lady Kira. So it's not taking part... Ah, it's a different part of the rite that it's happening in. Which is the rite of water, not the transformation rite. Okay. It's all coming together. Were you really standing in the spring? I'm sorry, but I barely remember anything about the rite. The High Priest would never make such an obvious blunder during a rite. What on earth? Is that even possible? Be that as it may, this does not overturn my insights. It doesn't. Let us say the accused was standing in the spring. So what? So what? This completely reverses their positions is what? That their positions differed from what is customary is rather curious. However, what does that change? It certainly does not erase the accused's brutal crime. I guess you have a point there. You lawyers are an absurd breed. Never thinking ahead, you cling to the first insignificant contradiction you can muster. Contradictions beget contradictions, though. Sounds like Princess Rafa has a pretty good grasp on what lawyers are all about. Oh, Maya, where would I be without your brutally frank commentary right now? Is this contradiction really meaningless? But something really doesn't feel right. Did I take a wrong turn somewhere? No, you got this. It's just a different part of the rite that's happening. I will now amend my insight to account for this new truth. Doesn't change. Okay, now the contradiction is no more. But the truth of the matter still stands, no matter how stubbornly you deny it. What do you have to say for yourself now, Mr. Wright? Nick! Your Majesty, this lawyer must have raised a trivial objection. But a benevolence's insights have no further inadequacies of any kind. Yes, so it would seem. Wait a second, but there is another contradiction. Still, you flounder about, wretched beast. Though you wreck that putrid brain of yours, nothing worthwhile will come of it. Maya, please tell me you remember something that might help us out here. Sorry, really don't remember a thing. But now that the place I was standing in has changed, who knows? That alone may have caused a new discrepancy within Princess Rafa's insights. Yeah, I got it. I know it. Now, that's right. We now know that Maya was standing in the spring. A major change like that could very well produce a contradiction. I should take another look at the innocence diagram in the record and confirm where Maya and Abbott Inmee were standing, and focus on finding any discrepancies between their positions and the insights. Yeah, I think I got it. But how do I point out that it wasn't the transformation right? That's the question. Wait, but he's definitely doing the transformation right here. This is the transformation, right? What's... I know what I want to say, but I don't know how to point it out. Like I want to point out the fact that by the Springside Lantern, which is true. Wait a second. If that's supposed to be the Springside Lantern, then it shouldn't be flickering. Should it? Because it's not broken. Because the broken lantern is there. Is that it? But then I'm so confused. Why is it flickering now? Like, I don't know whether to point out the lantern or the wind itself.
Objection!
I don't know if this is right. Your benevolence. I found a new contradiction. You did? No doubt it is but another one of your vile attempts to slander my insight. Oh, it's right! Is it right? No, but I don't understand this either. Why is the lantern flickering? If he's going into the spring. Lantern flame behind the accused was flickering. There is nothing unusual about that, especially as the wind had stirred. No, that's where you're wrong. It's really subtle, but that's a good one. I like that one. If the accused had been standing in the spring, I see why people like this case. This is really interesting. And what you see here should be one of the lanterns flanking the statue. I fail to see your point. My point is, something is wrong here. The two lanterns flanking the statue were both outfitted with glass wind guides, so neither lantern's flame should have been flickering in the wind in the first place. Heh! She seems pretty tickled, Nick. I don't remember saying anything funny. I fail to see what you wish to prove here, but... Very well. I shall refine the vision and reveal the truth for all to see. Alright, what are you going to reveal to us? Oh, bless Mitama, I beseech you, fix your sight upon the lantern there. What? It doesn't have a wind guard on it. For the wind guard was removed to reveal the sacred flame within. Why? Well, they keep updating! I hate this updated evidence nonsense. Updated vision report. I don't know. Therefore, there is nothing odd about the flame flickering. Alright, well... But when we searched the crime scene, those lanterns had their wind guards on. That's because the police put them back on. Why would they change the crime scene? Oh. Sacred flames have burnt uninterpreted for hundreds of years. They changed the crime scene and then didn't tell us about it. It's not fair. We could not risk them being extinguished, even during an investigation. Okay, fair enough. Whatever, it's fine. You could have told me. I would never fly back home. Well, barbed head, are you done quibbling? If so, then it is time to bow down before this testimony of the Mitama. Nick! Don't worry, Maya. I'm just getting started. Alright, let's go over everything we know so far. Maya was wearing Lady Kira's robes and standing in the spring. The High Priest is thought to have been moving toward her, so I should look for sensations that stand in contradiction to this arraignment. I won't give up. I'm gonna find a contradiction that will undermine the accusation against Maya. Oh, back to this again. Okay. Wait. That's broken. What? What? I thought I fixed my eyes, and apparently they're more broken now. Unless maybe he turned around. Maybe Maya isn't standing in the spring. Maybe Maya is actually standing where she's supposed to for the transformation, right? And then he just turned around. And that's where the killer is. Because then that would match up with how the seance is supposed to be. Anyway, this is broken.
Objection!
Like, I could have pointed this out earlier. I'm just trying to understand it myself. What do you mean? It's broken! Oh, I was supposed to go to the correct statement. Oh my god. Alright. Oh. What statement is the correct one? I know what I want to say, but I don't know how to say it. He turned. He turned. I'm screaming out. He turned. Speak into the mic. How do I say that he turned around? That's the thing that's I can see. I just don't know. I don't know how they want me to point it out, man. Like, I can see the freaking broken lantern here. Like, it's not contradicting anything in this. Like, I can point out the broken lantern, and I know it's the fact that Maya is next to the broken lantern, but like, should I just do this again, maybe? Maybe it's this one? Let me try. Because this is not the Springside Lantern.
Objection!
Oh, okay. Well, I was just overthinking it. I was... Okay. Sorry, chat. It's just overthinking it too much. This contradiction will overturn the entire case I've been building. Are you all right, Mr. Right? 1 minute you shout out, and then in the next you fall silent. Perhaps it's like the bellow of the one who is barreling down a hill with no way of stopping. Is that not right, Prosecutor said Marty? Don't get cold feet now, Phoenix. Even if this overturns the entire case you've built so far, the only way is to keep moving forward, because that's where we'll find the truth. Sorry, but I'm not barreling down a hill. In fact, I'm in full control of everything with this indisputable contradiction I found. Is that so? The lantern behind the accused clearly, no, blatantly contradicts your insight. Does it now? One of the lanterns on the entrance side of the inner sanctum was broken. And if you watch what Abbott in me saw in his final moments, you will notice that the lantern behind the praying form of Miss Fay is broken. The lantern behind Lady Kira, however, is still intact. In short, we are seeing two different lanterns in this seance vision. How could this be? And even if it were so, how would that contradict my insights? Let me start by saying, the claim I'm about to raise will overturn the case I've built thus far. Will the defense please explain himself? Based on the broken lantern, we can tell Maya and Abbott Inme's positions. Where the accused and the victim were standing. But did you not just finish asserting that the accused was standing somewhere else? I did, and I built my argument on that faulty premise. But thankfully, it has led us here to the actual spot where Maya Fey was standing. So she was standing in the original spot. It's just Lady Kira was standing in the spring. I must say, if the defense keeps changing his assertions, assertions in such a capricious manner, its credibility may come into question. I'm willing to take that risk, Your Majesty, because I believe this will be the last time. Yeah, the 3DS does have a microphone, but if I remember, it's really bad, because I remember trying to talk to my Pokemon in X and Y, and something to do in X and Y, and it never worked. Like, I have a distinct memory. Hi, Kirby. I'm willing to take that risk, Your Majesty. Your Majesty. Because I believe this will be the last time. Well, that was the normal 3DS, Green Giant. And that was because the game couldn't recognize my hold it, apparently, because I'm British or something. I'd like to start by pointing out the actual spot where the accused was standing. Very well. Show us where you now believe that the accused was actually standing. Joe's about to get annoyed at me. Based on the location of the broken lantern. This is where Maya was really standing. So, in her original spot.
Take that!
I wasn't thinking straight before. Now it's all falling into place. We know the victim had stepped into the spring. That means Maya Fey had to have been standing in the water as he approached. However, his memory has only now become clear. Reveals that Miss Fey was standing by the side of the broken lantern. In other words, she was standing where she was supposed to be, according to custom. Does that not bring us back to the very beginning? No. This is where things take a different turn. And I mean that literally. The victim had to have been moving towards the spring. That means that while he was moving, he had his back turned towards the accused. What's this? Do you mean to say the victim turned around during the rite? But such an image appears nowhere in the Seon's vision. That's because he had the sutra in front of him. Actually, it does appear. It's just that no one noticed until now. No one noticed? How could no one have noticed something so big? There was a moment when the scripture the victim was holding was all we could see. Thanks to that, none of us could tell that he was in fact turning around in that moment.
Objection.
If it is, as the defense asserts, then her benevolent insights no longer make sense. How do you intend to explain that?
Objection.
They're two different people, bro! I don't need to explain anything, because it's just as you said, Prosecutor Samadi. Her benevolent insights don't make any sense, because they contain a huge error. Such insolence! And this is the error. This is the one that we needed. Is the fact that Maya was not Lady Kira. A huge error, you say? Do explain. The huge error is the number of people there. I believe this is what happened at the scene of the crime. The victim was reading a sutra when suddenly he sensed someone behind him. He immediately looked back to see someone dressed as Lady Kira standing there. Wishing to see who it was, he approached the robed figure. That's when he was stabbed. This cannot be! Oh, but it can. And it is! The insight stating the accused stabbed the victim is wrong, and that the real truth lying behind this testimony of the dead. Polkunka! Are you suggesting that there was someone else at the scene of the crime? Have I misunderstood the voice of the Mitama yet again? This cannot be! You tried your best. Phew, that was a close one. And I managed to divine the true meaning behind the seance vision somehow. I should add these new facts to the court record. This would have been a lot quicker if Maya had just remembered where she was standing. But it's fine. Your benevolence, please allow me to take it from here. I will overturn the brash accusations of this faithless, putrid-minded lawyer. Yes, I shall place my trust in you. Alright, that was fun. That was my favorite part of the game so far. This was a very interesting insight. Are you sure about this, Prosecutor Sunmadi? My work as an international prosecutor has taken me to courtrooms around the world. And in that time, I have learned to perform last rites for souls in trials, lacking a seance. Yes, of course. Forgive my ludicrous inquiry. Moreover, I have with me a forensic investigator from overseas. I will show you the most magnificent last rites ever seen. Guess he really does think highly of Emma and her forensic expertise. I'm impressed that he's come to understand their value. Then again, oh my god, it's time for Emma. Emma you? He is an international prosecutor who solves tough cases around the world. Time to hunker down, huh? Now then, let us continue with today's proceedings. Could the defense please tell us who the third party dressed as Lady Kiru was? Your new claim has negated the insight of the royal priestess, so I trust you have some evidence to support it, correct? Yeah, of course. Classic Phoenix. This third party must have really wanted to kill the High Priest. Might be able to identify who it was. If I had evidence of their murderous intent. Well, we're waiting, Mr. Wright. Oh, wait, it's not a bluff. Phoenix actually knows. I just don't know. I'm guessing it's this, right? Where is it? But can this reveal the evidence? I'm assuming it's this.
Take that!
3 days before the purification, right? Okay. The victim received a warning letter. Again, overthinking. From an unidentified individual. He did? Whoever sent it clearly meant to threaten the High Priest. The letter said, do not perform the rite. But the rite went on as scheduled. I believe that is why the High Priest was murdered. Who do you suppose sent that letter? Person with something to hide. The rebel hunter disguised as Lady Kira herself. I like when Phoenix points. He has his other arm like out here so that it's balanced, so he doesn't fall over. I don't understand. I'd heard that Lady Kira has been in the news of late, only hunted rebels. If so, why would she have killed the High Priest? Excellent question. Maybe it would help to think of it this way. What if the High Priest had secretly been a rebel? The High Priest? He couldn't possibly have been a rebel. The High Priest, a devout follower of Koreanism, a rebel? Do you even comprehend the blasphemy of which you speak? Well, do you? I, too, found it hard to believe at first. But as I continued my investigation, it started to become more and more plausible.
Objection!
The third party was the rebel hunting Lady Kira? And the High Priest was a rebel? Your mockery of Koreanism. No! Of the kingdom of Korean itself knows no bounds! Whoops. Oh, we got everybody against us. We just called one of the most important people of the country a rebel. As a faithful Koreanist, I take issue with these claims. And I am loath to admit that into today's proceedings. I don't like where this is going. The defense's claims are but vile blasphemy, tantamount to spitting on the Holy Mother. They're angry. Angy. Is it really that big of a deal, Maya? Abbot Imi was a distinguished monk. Very well respected, too, so yeah. I mean, what did you think, Phoenix? Point out one of the most important people in their country is, you know, working against them. It's not the best look in the world. But fear not, good people of Korean. The rantings of this putrid-brained lawyer, who seek to sully the soul of the deceased, shall come to no avail once I conclude these last rites. The prosecution's assertion that the accused killed the victim remains unchanged. But the victim was stabbed in his abdomen. How is that possible when he had his back turned towards Miss Faye? Someone else must have killed him.
Objection!
Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? You may have invalidated the seance, but do not let it go to your putrid head. The karmic flow of this trial is, as yet, still in my hands. How can you be so confident? I don't sound like Wario there. Wow. Something has occurred to me, you see. And your allegations of a third party are but of deluded fantasy. And I shall prove that by calling a new witness to the stand. Emma? 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 Wait, what? He just contradicted. How can you say that there was no third party and then say that there's an eyewitness? I don't. What? Am I crazy, chat? I don't. This is the exact same thing that happened last time. When we said that there was no third witness in the corridor with Albie and the other guy. And then he's like, but a witness saw this happen. And I'm like, that's a third party. Oh my god. Who is this? Oh, it's this guy. Mr. Crazy Pants. Well then, it's be the shaggiest witness I have ever laid my eyes upon. Please state your name and occupation. Oh, I'm, you know, that so-and-so, whatchamacallit. Anonymous. Oh my god. Name TBD. As in, to be determined. Can't you just tell us your real name? The witness has suffered a blow to the head, rendering him amnesiac. Therefore, I named him Anonymous. That's what we should name John Doe's. We should just name them Anonymous instead. I would like that more.
Objection!
You're letting an amnesiac testify? To be fair, Phoenix, you lost your entire memory and still went as a and still went to be a lawyer. Have no fear. I have already questioned him at length. While it is true he has utterly forgotten his name and past, his memory of what he witnessed is still very much intact. Dude, I'm just... This is so funny. There was no third party at the scene. And I can prove it. By having this person who has lost his entire memory claim he was there to witness that there was no third party at the scene. Being himself a third party at the scene. I'm just... Therefore, I will permit his testimony. Now, Mr. Imus. Please tell us what you saw. I know. I'm not arguing with it. I'm just laughing at it. It makes... Alright. What did you see, bro? At night, I was up at the top of Mount Pony Pony, the mountain next to the inner sanctum. I hate crowds, so I climbed up there to pray in peace. I know it's a no-no, but since there was no one around, I used my binoculars to spy on the right at the inner sanctum. That's when I saw the accused. Stab the high priest with a dagger! What? The curtains are closed, dude. Oh, what was spoilers? Oh, I didn't see it. There's no way you saw Miss Faye stab the victim with a dagger. I swear I don't know what he's talking about. Don't remember at any rate. Neither does he. Oh, if it's about 5 DLC, yeah, I haven't played that yet, sorry. So you're talking about that smaller mountain from the post. But the thing is closed! The curtains are closed! The inner sanctum lies at a high elevation where clouds and fog can obscure the view. Are you sure you were able to see what happened from the mountain top next to it? No, you're fine, Ings. I was supposed to have played through 5 DLC, but I couldn't get it to work. And then that was on the original game, and now that the new game has come out, I haven't gone back to play it. You're fine, don't worry, it was an accident. It was my fault. His Majesty raises an excellent question. Well, Mr. Immus? On the day of the raid, there wasn't a cloud in the sky. I had a perfect view. If you don't believe me, check the weather forecast in the paper that day. Nick, don't we have the newspaper for that day? Why are we not paying attention to the fact that the thing is closed? Why are we checking the newspaper? We don't... See, told you so. Alright. Well, it would appear the witness has offered testimony worth hearing. Mr. Immus, I too have a question for you. Didn't he already question the witness? Well, that's what I'm here for, right? How is the accused holding the dagger? Is she holding it underhanded? Its blade protruding from the bottom of her hand. Yep, I believe she was. It's called a reverse grip. Ah, I thought as much. What does that have to do with anything? Hold it right there. What bearing does that have on this case? Sorry, I'm not actually mad. Just so people are aware. It's just making me laugh. Cease your interruptions, you putrid-headed lawyer. Do you not see the significance and how the blade is held? Why don't you enlighten me, O enlightened one? I knew you were a fool. I can already picture you in your next life. Next life? Yes, after your soul writhes for centuries in the pit of hell. You shall be reborn as a witless sea urchin, with barbs limited to your posterior. You shall live a short, inconsequential life, only to be brutally devoured by a sea otter. Jesus! Simply ask what the dagger grip has to do with the case. Now, pay attention. How the accused held the dagger is of vital importance. With information, we can infer exactly what action she took. You were saying that the victim was killed while he had his back to the accused. Is that correct? Yeah. As such, the accused's dagger grip tells us something very important. The accused approached the victim from behind, swung her arms around him. Thus, Mr. Immus' testimony clears up any doubt that might remain. What about the fact that he saw another person there? Which we've seen in Rafer's insight. I thought I'd blown those insights out of the water, but now they're back to haunt me. Now then, the defense may cross its finally. I mean, I could. This is so obvious. I could press and make sure, but this has got to be right. If this isn't right, I don't know.
Objection!
Okay. Your Magistrate, I had my doubts about this bushy-bearded witness, but now I know we can't trust him. What? You ain't judging me solely on my bodacious beard, are you? Not at all, Mr. Immus. It's much more than your sketchy appearance. It's your sketchy testimony. His testimony, you say? Yes. Recall how the inner sanctum was that day. Specifically, I liked how he checked the weather first. That it was completely enclosed by the ritual curtain. Why, yes, I believe you're right. That curtain would have completely blocked the eyewitness's view from Mount Pony Pony. Therefore, he couldn't possibly have seen the murder happen. Oh, Mr. Immus, have you been knowingly making false statements to this court? You got me. The witness will lower his voice. I didn't actually see the accused herself. What? He didn't actually see the accused herself. What's that supposed to mean? Let me set the record straight. I beg you. What now, bro? What new perjury are you gonna come up with? Witness's perjury. The night of the murder, amended. I saw their shadowy silhouettes projected against the ritual curtain. The figures were created by the light of the full moon on that clear and still night. The light of the full moon? But if the moon is directly above then there wouldn't be shadows on the curtain. Dude. At least it's slightly more plausible than I just looked and saw it. In the future, Mr. Immus, I would rather you offer accurate testimony from the start. Forgive me, my main man, Mr. Magistrate. Chalk it up to my fuzzy memory. Though we but saw shadows, it is still a valuable testimony. You have to be kidding me. What are we gonna do now, Nick? If somebody commits perjury and is called out on it in like an actual trial, then don't they just lose credibility completely as a witness in real life? I know this is Ace Attorney, but so it's different because it's Ace Attorney, but just in real life, if somebody is caught out doing perjury, surely they just lose all credibility in the eyes of like the court and the jury. Yeah. Now, the defense may cross-examine the witness once more. Testimony is thrown out and then they're no longer considered a reliable witness. Yeah. That's what I would think. I mean, I don't know. I don't have any court experience, but my mum would know. My mum has a law degree. Maybe I can go ask her. Just text my mum randomly. It is a clear and still night, but I'm pretty sure it's to do with the fact that the full moon is directly over. I'm slightly less confident on it.
Objection!
You saw silhouettes projected by the moonlight. Sorry, but that's just not possible. What do you mean? How is it not possible that it was totally possible? That's impossible. I think I'm gonna need a logicalese translation on that. Let's take a look at this rights guide, shall we, Mr. Immis? The right is held when the moon is directly over the summit of Mount Pony Pony. Dude, I don't even know how to act. how to say, voice act that. So if the moon was shining from the west, any shadows would have been cast eastward. But Mr. Immis was standing to the west of the inner sanctum of Mount Pony Pony. Oh, holy mother! That's right. Our witness here couldn't have seen any shadowy figures on that curtain. Perhaps it was the sacred flames of the lanterns that cast the shadows he saw? I'm afraid not. I inspected them during my investigation, but the flames were too small to cast the crisp, distinct figures Mr. Immis claims to have seen. Music terms probably, yeah. But I did see those silhouettes. Really? But how could he, Nick? Maybe he was someplace where they were visible. Okay, so it did... Alright. Maybe I misunderstood. But I thought it was directly overhead, but I guess... So, hang on. Let me read what Phoenix said again. Any shadows would have been cast eastward. Okay, so it's over... Hang on. It's over Mount Pony Pony. Oh, I'm getting confused. Okay, the full moon is over the summit of Mount Pony Pony. Which means a Mount Pony Pony is the small one. So it would have been cast... The shadows would have been cast the other way. So not towards Mount Pony Pony. Okay. So it's more subtle than I thought, but yeah. Okay. So that means that he must... If he saw shadows, then he was there and he's just on the other side. Where? There's nothing... There's nowhere else to stand. Unless he's like... Unless he was there. Like inside. Someplace where they were visible, like inside. Inside the curtains. Wait, don't tell me. Your Majesty, Mr. Immis really did see the shadows. It brings a brand new fact to light. And that would be... The brand new fact that comes to light if Mr. Immis really did see the shadows is... What? He was somewhere else. Yeah. He wasn't where he claimed to be at the time of the murder. Oh, then where do you propose the witness was? Someplace where he could have seen the shadow figures, naturally. Wait, you mean... Yeah, he was there. None of the mountains east of the inner sanctum are close enough for a good view. That leaves only one place he could have clearly seen the shadows from. And where might that be? This is where Mr. Immis was at the time of the murder. It's from all the way there. The inner sanctum. Mr. Immis was at the inner sanctum, just outside the curtain on the east side. Outside the curtain? Okay, that's not what I thought Phoenix was going to say. But I guess we're sticking with the narrative that he wasn't inside. That's the only place from which he could have seen the shadowy figures. Oh, but that's where we found this, right? Oh, maybe this guy... Maybe this guy is Dats. Who broke out of prison. Where is it? Didn't I have a thing about Something breaking out. Oh, it's on the newspaper. Broke out of prison, and then parachuted down to the inner sanctum. So it's Dats. Is this guy Dats? But wasn't the inner sanctum off limits to all but the victim and the accused? And the third party who was there, you mean? I get the feeling that a subject prosecutor, said Marty, would rather not touch right now. Yeah, they kind of just went full pun with all the names. Oh, you mean... That's right, the witness was at the scene of the crime. Which means he is the mysterious third party. No way! Wow! He could be the one who dressed as Lady Kira and killed the High Priest.
Objection.
No one but the two participants were allowed anywhere near the inner sanctum. Yeah, just because they weren't allowed doesn't mean that he wasn't there. And the only way up there are the stairs that start down at the Plaza of Devotion. Oh, unless he parachuted out from somewhere. How do you propose the witness entered the sacred space? He must have... I hadn't thought that far ahead. Sanctum has sheer cliffs on 3 sides and a steep towering rock face on the other. No one could have made it there by climbing the faces of those cliffs. His Majesty speaks true. To say Mr. Innes was at such an inaccessible location is but a bit to tarnish his credibility. Is that not right? Right! I wasn't at the inner sanctum. No, sir. No how. At least, I'm pretty sure I wasn't.
Hold it!
Then what about the silhouettes you claim to have seen? I can't even read that properly. Because it's so ridiculous. Any prosecutor who brought somebody like this to trial would be made a mockery. I'm starting to think I might have been imagining things. What? It's just insane! I knew we couldn't trust that lawyer. He's trying to frame the witness. You're blaming me? I don't... It's impossible. Unless I can show how he got to the inner sanctum. Looks like I'm trying to slander Mr. Immus. I believe in you, Nick. Rah rah, sis, boom, bah. Fight, fight, Phoenix, right. Let's look at the accused. Has she no shame? What's your problem, lady? Phoenix Wright is very trustworthy, I'll have you know. She's got some nerve for a criminal. I bet that lawyer poisoned her mind. Please, Maya, you're only making it worse. I appreciate the vote of confidence, but it's probably best to keep it to yourself for now. I would advise the defense to think carefully before making any sudden out. Yes, Your Majesty. If I wasn't a bad guy before, I definitely am now. Now, Mr. Immus, I would like you to think back carefully. Will you testify next about where you were that night? Alright. What are you going to say now? I wasn't at the inner sanctum. I was never at the inner sanctum, I tell ya. That much I'm sure of, even with the fuzzy memory. Besides, it would have been impossible to get there in the first place. Boy, you lawyers sure are scary. I guess it might have been impossible for him to get to the inner sanctum like he claims, but... Now, will you desist in trying to frame this innocent witness? Yeah, I'd like to see you explain how he got up there. Shush, gallery. Mr. Wright, is it not time to end these cross-examinations? No! A moment of desperation leads to 100 million years of toil. It means that... Okay, shush. Alright, I can't be bothered to read this. Can't keep saying that the witness was there at the inner sanctum. I can't prove it. Problem is, how am I going to do that?
Hold it!
It's impossible to... I wonder if it really was impossible for you to get to the inner sanctum. If you have something to say, just say it. Couldn't there have been another way to get there? A way that wouldn't attract attention? No, there isn't. Which means there is. Perhaps the defense would share its theory with us. I don't even have a wild guess. Well, on a theory, though. Tend to reach into my bag of bluffs. To reach the inner sanctum without attracting any attention. I mean, neither of these two are possible. But we're going along with this one because I'm still adamant on the whole parachuting thing. We fell from the sky. Maybe you fell from the sky? Ha 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 ha! The lawyer thinks he's a comedian now. I was wondering what crazy theory you would propose next. Well, defense, let's hear it. Mr. Immus could have, parachuted down. Yeah, Phoenix! We already know the weather was clear, and there was no wind to speak of. Perfect weather for skydiving, I'd say. Now that you have been backed into a corner, your delusions grow even more delusional. The inner sanctum is on a tiny ledge upon a sheer cliff over 2,000 meters tall. Look at that giant prison that's above there, bro. That somebody happened to break out of. On the night of the murder. One misstep and a skydiver would soon find themselves in the Twilight Realm. Yeah, I don't care how still the wind was. Even I couldn't have made that jump. Wait, what's this building on top of the Sacred Mountain? That is the Royal Penitentiary, number 4. Oh, right. Princess Rafer mentioned there was a prison up there. How do you get your prisoners up there anyway? By helicopter, but only with authorization from the Minister of Justice. He is the only one who could approve flights that pass over the inner sanctum. They updated the poster. Oh, to show the prison. Okay. Might I also add defense? But no parachute or any other equipment necessary for skydiving have been found. What about the thing that was sewn together? Are you saying I flew down there by flapping my arms? I may be an incredible dude, but even I'm not capable of that. Well, please add that statement to your testimony, Mr. Immus. That's the line he added? Okay, no. I think I need to present the parachute there. Shush. I didn't mean to do this. I want the parachute there. This one?
Objection!
First instinct was... That was my first instinct. Was that somebody parachuted. But I definitely thought I was galaxy braining. A little too early. Mr. Immus is right. He couldn't have skydived down there without any gear. Well, now, finally come around, have you? Now you see, I couldn't possibly have been there at the inner sanctum. Right. If you didn't have any gear, that is. What on earth are you talking about? That overreaction is a dead giveaway that I'm on the right track. Take a look at this piece of evidence. Those are prayer flags, are they not? Yes, they have been sewn together to create one big banner. A banner that could also function like a parachute. Oh, Kunka! People of Kurain are so used to seeing prayer flags that the police didn't even think twice about these flags during their investigation. No, this cannot be! The witness landed at the inner sanctum by using these prayer flags as a parachute. Is that not right, Mr. Immus? I'm surrounded. Mr. Amos? If this talk struck my memory, I guess I was there at the inner sanctum after all. What are they discussing now? Surely they can't still be on his side. As I suspected, there were 3 people there that night. You did it, Nick! You weren't wrong after all. Thanks? Mr. Amos, you were the one disguised as Lady Kira that night, weren't you? What? No way! No how! It's like this. Oh yeah. I was only there at the inner sanctum by accident. By accident? Exactly! And that thing's not a parachute. It's a homemade paraglider. Paraglider? Are you telling me you could fly using that patchwork mess of material? May not look like much, but it's as sturdy as can be. I rode the wind like an eagle, going higher and higher from my earthly launching point. But then something happened that forced me to land at the inner sanctum. So you just happened to land there? You expect me to believe that? No, please calm yourself, Mr. Wright. However, the fact that the witness was at the inner sanctum is crucial testimony indeed, and it certainly warrants further explication. Therefore, let's continue with more testimony. Okay. Judge C. Reason. Why I was at the inner sanctum. Right after I wasn't at the inner sanctum. This is one of the silliest witnesses we've ever cross-examined. That evening, I was enjoying a trek through the night sky with my homemade paraglider. But just as Mount Pony Pony was drawing near, something terrible happened. An accident forced me to make an emergency landing at the inner sanctum. As I landed, I banged my head, causing me to lose my memory. So you see, I ended up at the inner sanctum purely by accident. Mr. Amos, you failed to mention any of this during your pre-trial questioning. Can't be helped. I mean, I'm just remembering it now. Continue such slipshod testimony, and you will be cast into the hell of hangnails. Where you shall have hangnails grown and ripped out 800 million years. Okay. Jesus. Looks like that court prosecutor Somali of God. This is my chance to rip his case to shreds. Nobody likes a hangnail, to be fair. Why I was at the inner sanctum. My homemade paraglider made out of prayer flags. Just as Mount Pony Pony was drawing it. What kind of accident?
Hold it!
What exactly was this accident you had? Good question. Now what was it again? Wind? Oh yeah, it was the wind. Wasn't it a calm, clear night sky or something? What was that? Newspaper? Calm, clear skies today. SMH. The wind was strong enough to make you lose control. Yeah, I got that right. Okay then, please add that to your testimony. Good morning, Gilded. We're having a fun time here.
Objection!
We have a saying in my country, Mr. Amos. When something smells, from one lie sprouts another. Yeah, this is a fun case. I'm having a great time. It's kind of crazy because the start of this case was actually really clever in terms of how you proved that Maya was standing where she was supposed to be standing. With like using the insight and everything, and then this guy is testifying, and it went from being like a clever trying to figure out exactly what's happening case to someone just going crazy on the stand. But I'm still enjoying it. It's making me laugh a lot. I mean, someone caught lying will lie again in an attempt to conceal their first lie. In other words, this current testimony is just a blatant lie you're telling to cover your tracks. What did you just say? You claimed gale force winds caused you to lose control. But this newspaper has the weather report for the day of the murder. It says, the area around the inner sanctum will enjoy calm, clear skies today. Bokunga! Why, I do believe it does say that. From one lie sprouts another. That makes sense, but is it really a saying back home? I've never heard of it. Yeah, I kind of made that one up. For real? Your Majesty, the witness's testimony contains yet another flaw. One that's even more fatal to his cause. More fatal, you say? The defense will explain himself at once. Mr. Immus claims he was flying up around the inner sanctum with his paraglider, but it would have been impossible to get all the way up there without any wind. Always like the pursuit themes. Why, yes, I believe you're right, but we know the witness was at the inner sanctum, so... Mr. Immus, how did you get there? And from where? Yeah, but to be fair, that parrot had key information, alright? This guy just... it's just nuts. Without any wind, he couldn't have flown up there from the bottom of the mountain. By process of elimination, the only starting point that makes any sense is... Your Majesty, I believe I have the answer to your question. To reach the inner sanctum, Mr. Immus must have launched himself from here. Hoo-ah! Hoo-ah! Are you insane? That's where he came from. If he couldn't have come from below, the only other option is from above. So you see, Anonymous came down from Royal Penitentiary number 4. From there, he could have easily reached the inner sanctum by parachute. And that means he might have also killed the High Priest. What? Mr. Immus, were you the third party at the inner sanctum, and the one behind the warning to halt the right that the victim received? Was it you we saw in this final memory? Are you the rebel hunter, Lady Kira? Hey, Mr. Prosecutor, sir. Help me out here. You did it! You finally left him speechless! Aw, come on, Mr. Prosecutor, man! Quiet. Fool. You should use this time to prepare yourself for what is to come. Always mad. For a fate far worse than hangnail hell awaits you now. Well done, defense. I must concede this point to you. The witness did, in fact, descend to the inner sanctum from Royal Penitentiary number 4. Huh? You didn't even put up a fight this time. That's awfully generous of him. Yeah, this case is real. I'm enjoying this case. Especially this trial. This trial has been good. Like the insight right at the beginning was very interesting. But if you are as perceptive as you seem, then surely you have already figured out the riddle. The riddle of Anonymous's true identity. Oh, his true identity. I have figured it out. Not sure I know quite yet, but I guess I'll have to answer with something. It would seem I am the only one still in the dark here. Would the defense care to enlighten me? Who is this man we have been calling Anonymous? The witness's true identity is... Is this really him? Only now do you realize the truth. Well, please do share with us your belated insight. Why don't you just say it? What's wrong, Nick? Why are you holding back? Because this isn't going to be very helpful to our case. Really? You sure? Unfortunately, I got no other choice. That scruffy beard and shaggy mane completely threw me off. And it's all becoming clear now. The nighttime base jump from the mountaintop prison. The precision landing at the inner sanctum, using only a handmade parachute. Only a paratrooper, or more precisely, a former paratrooper, could have pulled that off. The witness is That's Arbor! Prison escapee and key member of Dirk's rebel group. What? The witness is an escaped prisoner? Precisely. The police have been scouring every corner of the city to no avail. Meanwhile, here he was, under our noses the entire time. Oh, ha! Didn't think anyone would see through my clever disguise. But the witness's charade is not all that has been shattered. Is it defense? Boy, do I hate this guy. Please record the defense's own words. Oh. Yeah, how could the rebel be the rebel hunter? Yeah, okay. It's a problem. Unless he's a double agent or something? I don't know. What if the witness's true identity? Oh no! He is a rebel and an escaped prisoner. He could not possibly have been Lady Kira, mortal enemy of the rebels. No! No. Perhaps the witness will enlighten us to the truth. After all, he has yet to refute any of this. Oh, you got me. I'm the razor-sharp fangs of the Defiant Dragons. That's our rebel. It's supposed to be our rebel. When did you get your memory back? Oh, around the time you guys were talking about there being no win. But you gotta give me credit for making up all the testimony off the top of my head. You're not allowed to do that! You can't, you're not... You remember that was the truth now. It's time I parachuted down to the inner sanctum, but I banged my head on impact and ended up unconscious outside the ritual curtain. In short, all my eyewitness testimony was a big fat lie. A big fat lie? Oh, and by the way, long time no see, UT. Huh? They know each other? Your Majesty. This filthy rebel belongs in a jail cell. Bailiff, seize him at once. Seems you really have forgotten the will of the dragon, huh, UT? But I haven't. And no dogs of the Garen regime are gonna lay a finger on me. Did they just let him run away? Don't they have, like, security guards with, like, guns stationed outside? How did he manage to get away? The escaped prisoner escaped again. The police force has been placed on high alert. He will be caught before long. An escaped prisoner who escaped the law again after giving a ton of false testimony. Talk about a troublemaker. Really pulled a number on all of us. What's the point of all that anyway? Well, I can't help but feel that entire episode was an enormous waste of time. Your Majesty. Perhaps it was not a great waste of time as you might believe. What makes you say that, Prosecutor Samardi? Hi, Godot, by the way. That's a rebel dropped something as he made his escape from these halls. Well, that scrap of paper looks awfully familiar. These appear to be direct orders from Dirk. From Dirk, the rebel leader? Oh, but we only have a small corner of it. Don't we have the other half? Or, like, this half? Your Majesty, I've seen that scrap of paper before. You have? The scrap of paper that's a rebel dropped is a part of this.
Take that!
And this is? I found it at the scene of the crime. It appears to be a copy of the order that Mr. Rebel dropped. We put the two together. We should be able to read what the order says. Oh my, just what does it say, Mr. Wright? Uh-oh, what does it say? I can't read Koreanese. Wait, I can't read. That's... Prosecutor Samani, if you please. The ignorant lawyer has not bothered to learn our language. Very well, then. I do not understand. What? Well, what does it say? Using the lamplights as a landmark, he was to parachute down to the inner sanctum. Upon the right's completion, he was to don Lady Kira's robes and make his escape. What? That is how he was to escape from prison? So if I were to assume that Mr. Rebel was the one who killed the High Priest, then maybe it was because Abbot Inme tried to thwart his escape plan? Oh, foul lawyer. I'm afraid that is simply ludicrous. Huh? But I didn't say anything. Did you just read my mind? I know how your putrid mind works. Unfortunately for you, however, now that the Rebel's escape plan has been revealed, it is clear that Datsa Rebel is not the High Priest's killer. How can you be so sure? If only you would use that putrid brain of yours every once in a while. Datsa Rebel's plan could not have worked with the help of a certain individual. What do you mean? I am speaking of Abbot Inme, of course. Had Datsa Rebel simply donned Lady Kira's robes and made his escape alone, he would have been far too conspicuous. But were he by the High Priest's side, the faithful citizens praying in the plaza would have had no cause to suspect anything. It is therefore unthinkable that Datsa Rebel was the High Priest's killer. So then, you're saying the High Priest was a... Oh, I cannot bear to say it. I am afraid it is so. He numbered among the rebels who had threatened our kingdom. But that's what I said, and then everybody was angry at me. Let it go, and move on. Accept the truth. It is the only way. And that goes double for you, defense. Your futile battle now. Why should I? Because I will now put the final nail in the coffin of the accused. Now that we have eliminated Datsa Rebel from our list of suspects, there is only one person that still remains. The accused, Ma'efe. Hold it right there. Aren't you forgetting something important? Something important? Please do explain, difference. You can't end this trial without looking into the third party, right? Because there was somebody else there in the vision. Talking about the true identity of the Lady Kira we saw in the Seance vision. That wasn't Datsa Rebel. Then who was it?
Objection!
That matter has already been resolved. It has? What's he talking about? It is as if I had maintained from the start. There was no third party in the Seance vision.
Objection!
What? But there was another Lady Kira there besides Ma'efe. We all saw her. What? What are you doing? He stopped me pointing! How dare he? Poor Phoenix, getting abused again. It is time to let it go and move on. What do you mean? What are you talking about? It is quite simple once you consider where the victim and the accused were at the time. The victim was near the spring with his back to the accused. What would he see ahead? Besides, the water itself. There is nothing but the warboard statue. Precisely. Lady Kira we saw in the seance. What? Are you kidding me? It was the statue? Is that what you're saying? The accused wanted the false Lady Kira to appear in the seance vision. For she came from behind and stabbed the victim with a dagger in a reverse grip. But why would the accused want to do something like create a false Lady Kira? To show it to the victim as he was being slain. What reason would the accused have to fool the victim she was about to kill? It was not the victim she was trying to fool. It was this very court itself. Come again. Suspicion would not fall on the accused if it looked as if another Lady Kira were there, and the defense was foolish enough to fall from it and claim it was a third party in disguise. Are you saying? I am. It was all a cleverly wicked scheme perpetrated by the accused. A scheme in which she sought to use the seance vision to mislead us. But there were no footsteps. The only footsteps was his. Wouldn't Maya's footsteps have appeared if he approached her from behind? What a face you are making, defense. I am surprised you are taking this so hard. Yeah, rhetorical question, but that's what I'm guessing. After all, did I not clearly state a while back that you were chasing after naught but a deluded fantasy? Yeah, I actually learned how to float during the seance. Telling me he knew this is how it would turn out all the way back then? And he was just waiting for the most effective moment to spring it on me? Do you understand now? I've had you dancing in the palm of my hand this entire time. It can't be. This is an outrage. You took our royal priestess's sacred divination seance and used it to commit this foul and despicable murder? No! I did nothing of the sort! Maya, Nick, it's not true. I didn't.
Objection.
Cease this ugly display. Your fate is sealed now that the facts have been exposed. Your Majesty, the time has come to convict this criminal who only seeks to taint the sacred hall. Indeed, it seems this trial is over. What? Huh? Does the defense wish to offer up yet another counter-argument or something? The accused is not the killer, and here's why. Now what do I do? I've got nothing. We can't go back to the insight? It would appear that the defense has run out of arguments to me. Thought for sure that the rebel was the killer. The only person with a possible motive, the one dressed as Lady Kira, has vanished. And I've got nothing to use against Prosecutor Sanmari's argument. Can't lose now. Not like this. Very well then. I shall now render my verdict. Wait! Please wait! I'm begging you! It is time to let it go and move on. This trial need not be drawn out any longer. The defense has failed to counter the charge filed by the prosecution. In accordance with the law, I invoke the Defense Culpability Act against the defense. Now then, this court finds the accused, Maya Fey, and the defense, Phoenix Wright. Wait, I didn't get... What? Huh? Oh. Your Majesty, please forgive the interruption, but... Oh, hi. Who said that guns weren't allowed in the courtroom? What is the meaning of this? A body has been discovered. Huh? Another one? It's from jail. No, I'm dead. Like, Phoenix is dead. No, not just in jail. Apparently. That's what happens in this country. A body? What happened now? With a murder weapon? Why, that's Lady Kira's warbar daggered. Peace. It would seem the dagger that was once lost has now been found. I have one more thing to report, Prosecutor Sanmari. Yes. This dagger. Huh? This is not fair! Does this mean I'm like double dead? Why would Maya's prince be on it? I cannot believe it. Yeah, it must be true. But Maya was here and in prison the whole time! Is something the matter, prosecutor? Said Marty. This trial has run its course, and the accused's guilt has been firmly established. However, it would seem the defense was right about one thing. I was? You claim that the murder at the Inner Sanctum had been carried out by the rebel hunter masquerading as Lady Kira. I did say something to that effect, but what of it? Prosecutor said Marty. Are you suggesting what I think you are? I believe the true identity of the rebel hunter, who has been masquerading as Lady Kira. That's probably the most ludicrous thing you said. Maya? The rebel hunter? I realize how shocking this must seem. Looking back, I now realize there was much that pointed to this fact. The rebel-hunting Lady Kira was first sighted about 2 years ago, and the accused first came to our kingdom 2 years ago as well. Why, the timing matches perfectly! But there is more. The warning letter was found in the High Priest's bedroom 3 days before the rite. Despite his house being locked up tight that night.
Objection!
How does that prove anything?
Objection!
Phases through his hair? Yeah. It is difficult to believe an intruder could have found a way to enter such a secure house. However, the accused was known to come and go freely there. Maybe to prepare for the purification rite. Ah. The accused could have easily left the house unlocked for herself without anyone noticing. I mean, it's just conjecture, though. Only someone capable of entering the priest's home could have delivered it. Okay. If we assume that the accused was Lady Kira, that more than establishes a motive for killing the High Priest. Yes, the victim was secretly an insurgent, bent on helping that a rebel escape after him. Precisely, that made him a target of Lady Kira's wrath. And after killing the High Priest, she then unleashed her divine justice on another rebel. But why was the body only discovered 2 days later? Oh, 1 day later. 1 day later. No, 2 days later. Seems the scope of this case is expanded. We now have 2 murders perpetrated by Miss Maya Fey, masquerading as Lady Kira. Miss Fey is indeed a serial killer. It would affect the severity of her punishment. In light of this, I believe the second murder must be investigated before we can proceed. As you wish, Your Majesty. Oh. She's getting charged for the second murder. So... Do we have to go investigate? Are we already dead, though? Seems the defense will live to see one more day. What about hanging on by a thread? Come tomorrow. A far more terrible punishment awaits you. Double death. I hereby suspend this proceeding so that the second murder may be investigated until the conclusion of this new investigation. This court is adjourned. Oh man, what a trial. Oh. Dang! I thought we would get to the end today. Apparently not. There's still a whole other investigation to do. Because in this country, it's the Death Culpability Act. If you defend a murderer, incorrectly, then you also die. Investigation day 2. Dang. What's the time? 9? Yeah, it should be, yeah. That's what I was saying. I'm thinking I could keep going. You want me to keep going? But we'll do it tomorrow unless I get a good run. I was thinking about having like a slightly earlier night tonight. If we're not, if it's, yeah, because then if it's only the trial, if I finish the investigation and then I only do the trial, then I'll have to start the next case. Yeah. Yeah, so that's why I'm like, can I do the investigation and the trial in one sitting? Like if I start tomorrow at like 7, could I do it in like 4 or 5 hours? Quite a long case then. For this stream? I mean, I don't have work tomorrow. I could keep going. But... hmm. 2 hours at most. I'm thinking. That's true. I was also thinking that as well. But I do want to make some good progress on Ace Attorney. I want to start Persona soon. But I'm also enjoying Ace Attorney. I was expecting that it would just be like a long case today. I wasn't expecting it would be case... sorry, a long trial today. Not trial, investigation trial. Yeah, would that be okay, chat, if I just had an earlier night tonight? And we do the investigation tomorrow? I know it'll just be a shorter Ace Attorney session, but it was, not sleep, but just relax a little. Wind down. It's still, I know it's the shortest stream, but it's still like 9 hours. I hope that's alright. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. We can see how it goes. You're unfollowing? But I'm gonna do it tomorrow! Yeah. Might go get some food. I'm kind of hungry and everything. But we'll do more tomorrow. I'll start... Nice pin. I'll start, Ace Attorney... Oh, sorry. I'll start, Sonic Adventure 2 early tomorrow. Because I can wake up early, go for a run, start Sonic Adventure 2, PB, finish Ace Attorney, done. Let's do that. Yeah, we can do both. If I start Sonic, if I actually start at like 10 o'clock and get a PB, then there's a chance. But yeah, let me end for tonight. Let me relax a little because I did really long streams last weekend. I think I did a 12-hour and a 13-hour stream. So maybe a shorter 9-hour stream might be kind of nice. And I can relax. I'm gonna watch Sid do some comfy green stars. Sid's doing his first playthrough of Galaxy 2. He is one of my best friends. He's very, very cool. Very good Sonic Adventure. Sonic speedrunner. And he's doing his first playthrough of Galaxy 2. So you should go check him out. He's finished the main game and he's doing green stuff. Anyway, you guys are great. Thank you all for watching tonight. I had a great time. This was a very fun trial. I'm excited to continue it tomorrow. But yeah, go have a good night. Have a great rest of your Saturdays wherever you're on them. And I'll see you all soon. Take care, everybody. Thanks for watching. Bye.